Hello, hello, my community. How are you? Happy Monday. Welcome to Ask Me Monday. I am Vicki Howell. Today I'm the equivalent of, like running so late that like if I were in a car, I'd be squealing in on two wheels. I'm kind of having that kind of day, so bear with me. I know I'm a few minutes late today. We actually just got back late last night from a trip to New Mexico. So probably TMI, but in the middle of the Kickstarter campaign that we did for my upcoming project, The Knit Show, my 10th wedding anniversary actually happened. It came and went, and we just couldn't skip away then. So my husband and I decided that this was the time before we go into show production. This was the time. So we drove to New Mexico, which is about where we went was about 10-hour drive from Austin, which was great for me because I had two big work crochet deadlines. You can see the very corner of one. I don't think I'm allowed to show all of it to you. That I had to get done, so we could still be talking and kind of vacationing, but I got all of that work done during the drive, and then we got to really enjoy. And I'm a huge fan of kind of the whole Southwest area, but my family, my whole father's side of the family are New Mexican Spaniards, so for me, I really feel like a true connection down there, and just love spending time. And we had just such a blast. So the original show that we had planned was a partnership with another company, and it actually got postponed due to some unforeseen circumstances on their part. So in lieu of completely canceling, because we're about to get really busy with the Knit Show shoot, and so I think there's going to be a few weeks here and there over the summer that we're off, I thought instead of the traditional, I know we've been doing a tutorial every week for at least the past year, but before that, for some of you that have been watching from the beginning, I used to do a lot of just sort of like show and tell and talking about things. I hope it doesn't disappoint you that that's what I'm going to do today, but I figured cancel or just share my cool stuff. And I like seeing cool stuff. So maybe you guys will too. So I see everybody coming in. It's so good to see you. Doris, Carolyn from Florida. Yes, as always, if you're new to the show or if you're watching later on YouTube or on Facebook, we love when you sign on just to say where you're watching from, your name, where you're watching from, anywhere in the world. Maybe you'll see somebody else that's in your hood and you guys can connect in real time. Or I just saw somebody, I missed the name, but somebody from Hungary. Or you can just open up your global community. Maybe you reach out to someone across the globe and make a connection. And that's kind of, for me, I feel like that's how we make this world a better place, is to make these connections both locally and globally. So please take the time to say where you are, where you're from. And also, I personally love hearing about what you're making, what you made over the weekend. I told you I crocheted a poncho and also part of a pillow for another live stream I'm going to do later that I'll tell you later about. And then I worked on some other stuff. But post what you're working on. If you have pictures, hi Pearl from Canada. If you have pictures, please use the comment section as your community boards. We are a community here on my Facebook page, and especially on Ask Me Mondays on the comment section. We are here together. Okay, so the first thing that I thought I would do is, whenever you go away, your mail stacks up. And, I'm no different, but a lot of the mail that's starting to come in is for the Knit Show. For those of you that aren't familiar, the Knit Show with Vicki Howell is hi to Brazil, Meg Alice. The Knit Show with Vicki Howell is going to be a TV show, but on the web, so that anywhere in the world you can watch it. It'll go live in October, and we've already started production. So I'm starting to get some stuff for the actual studio shoot. And I just thought I would kind of open it up to see what it is here. So if you guys are interested in seeing, cool. If not, if you want to take a little break, go get yourself a coffee or a drink or whatever it is that you need at this time, and you can skip this part. So first box, I meant to pre-open these. That's the other thing that I didn't. Oh good, it looks like you guys are starting to talk to each other, working on some, looks like some wraps, some chevron wrist warmers. Ooh, this looks like, oh, okay, so this package is from Knitter's Pride. I don't know what this is, but I already like it. It looks like a box of chocolates. Oh my goodness. All right, so Knitter's Pride is, I have Knitter's Pride. How cute is this? So Knitter's Pride is the US brand. In other countries in the UK and beyond, it is called Knit Pro, and they are a major backer of the Knit Show. In fact, they happen to be that final pledge that made us make our goal. So we're super excited. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is a kit or a set. Look at this. Oh my goodness. These are beautiful. I don't know if you can tell, but look at the wood, the gradient wood. Isn't that glorious? And they're really, really sleek. Oh my goodness, these are beautiful. I can't wait to look. I can't wait to use these. You'll be seeing these needles used a lot in a segment called Vic's Tips on the Knit Show. So we'll use all kinds of stuff. Oh my goodness. So it looks like this set has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 sets. So beautiful. And even though like this is handy to carry around, they're so pretty, I would probably just stick them in a vase. Can't wait to work on those. All right. So I got that bag I showed you. This, I'm gonna guess are circulars, but interchangeable deluxe set. Oh my goodness, look at those. Those are beautiful. As my mom would say, you have to be smarter than the bag to get it open. So you unzip it. Interchangeable. Look how sleek and black and modern and sexy those are. And they have little pages. You're not supposed to necessarily hold them how I am, so. And then it comes with all kinds of cords. Look how little neon cords, black and neon. I mean, that's pretty sexy sweet, don't you think? So cool. So they were so kind to send me this stuff because I hadn't had a lot of experience working with their product. So I really wanted to practice. This is Luxury Connection. Do I open it now or should I wait? I don't know. Maybe I'll move on. Maybe I'll save that one for later. Unless you guys want to see it and then let me know. Okay, so the next box are, these are enamel pins. These are the Knit Show enamel pins. Now, some of you that are backers for the Knit Show spend a little extra money to get one, more than you would probably normally spend on a pin because you are supporting the show. We have not sent them out yet. I just got the rest of them, so we'll send those out if you added that. But I can also tell you that I just put them up on the brand new The Knit Show website. So it's thenitshow.com, and eventually we'll have more in the shop, but right now you can, hi Hope Perkins, good to see you. Hi Amanda. I hear you. I'm opening the package while I'm talking. You can go to thenitshow.com, and if you click on shop, you can get the pins, and we've got them at sort of a really special price right now, just for fun. They're like $10, which is less than if you were a backer, again, because we had them priced a little higher so we could raise the money. But you can buy them right now, and I will actually put a link in the show notes, comment section post. There's so much. I'm trying to get through all this wrapping for you. And I'm using another knitting needle to open it. Okay, so once you get through the 7th circle of delights, ooh, oh, they're Paris interchangeables. Look at that. So every single color appears to be a different size. And then it comes with this little cute embroidered bag that has it looks like it's silk, and then you've got also the signature bright cords and stoppers and everything. Isn't that so beautiful? So I don't have, because I'm just opening the mail, I don't have any more information than that about you. But if you go to the Knitter's Pride website or Knit Pro, depending on where you are, I am confident that you will be able to find everything that you've seen here. The Knitter's Pride Royale Luxury Collection, like this, and the circulars and the straights. So that was a pretty fun package. I'm not going to kid you. And by the way, love my job. Thanks. And you know me, you've met me before, although I'm not doing it today. when we have the show, when we launch the show, we're going to do all kinds of giveaways to help promote the show. So including, I'm sure, because Knitter's Pride and Knit Pro are so generous, I'm sure that we'll be giving away some of that stuff in the future, but I highly recommend that you check them out ahead of time. All right, I'm moving pins. Let's see. Okay, this one isn't actually for the knit show, but you might be interested. So when you're designing colors for yarns, I've several times over my career have, joined forces with yarn companies to either create my own yarn, or in the case of working with Webs and Valley Yarns, I did a color collection. You could probably remember, this is probably going to all avalanche on me. Well, I'm not even going to do it. It's going to all avalanche. I have a whole color collection with Valley Yarns Superwash Bulky, and we decided that we would do a couple new colors, or 3 new colors. And so how it works is I send them my swipes, which is just, or little pieces of swatches of colors that I want, and then they do dips and they send them back. And this is what it looks like when they send them back. So it's going to be like a peacock blue and an olive, and then I'm going to do a really pale pink, which is very sort of on trend right now. So I have to pick which one is closest to what I want. And then, I hope I'm allowed to tell you this, I'm also going to do another completely different color collection that's also with Valley Yarns, but for worsted, that'll be coming out this fall as well. And so they sent me some colors for that. I'll just give you a little glimpse, and that's it. So keep your eyes open for that. Again, not my yarn, but just my own color collection. If you think of it, you probably have seen like at the nail salon. I think OPI, the nail company OPI, really pioneered it, where it's like the Alice in Wonderland collection or the Katy Perry collection, where it's the same polish, but it's just they choose colors. That's kind of what I'm doing with Webs, which is also yarn.com. All right, one more box. Let's see what we got here. This says, oh, it's from Knitwits Tina Whitmore, which I believe, yep, is Freya Fibers. Okay, Freya Fibers are, I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they are the OG company. I'll let you guys tell each other what OG means. That came up with this particular method of hand painting yarn and then winding the cakes like this so that you see the different colors and layers. Craft companies have jumped on board and come up with their own now, but Tina from Freya is the originator of it. And also happens to be the Knit Show backer. And so what this is they're one of the, they might be the only company that does the same colorways, but in different weights. And we're going to have an episode called the Color Episode. And for part of it, for the Vic's Tips segment, I'm going to talk about this yarn and about how different the color looks when it's knitted up with the exact same colors, but in different weights, which is going to be gorgeous. She also sent, how pretty is that? It's so pretty. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to work with this. So you can keep your eye open for that. Again, you can go to theknitshow.com to sort of sign up and make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel and get information. And that show launches in October. October 5th, I think is the date. OG is original gangster. It's a silly term, but I see some of you asking, so it just means the original. All right, so now what I would love to do is I'd love to do a little show and tell for some of the stuff that I picked up while in New Mexico. So one of the things that my husband and I did is we did a drive from Santa Fe to Taos, and you can do something, you can do the freeway way, or you can take what's called the high road. And the high road goes through all of these little tiny villages, and a lot of them have either artist communes or co-ops, or just tiny little like art spaces where you can buy and see either indigenous projects or just, artist wares, which is, I love. And most of it, there's of course amazing pottery. The silverwork jewelry is unprecedented. I tried on a $3,000 necklace that I never in my life will probably be able to buy, but just the craftsmanship is just amazing. But since I think most of you that are watching are maybe more interested in the yarn world, if I'm wrong, I apologize for generalizing. I thought I would focus on that. So yarn and fiber in general is really big in the New Mexican culture for many reasons. And so some of the stuff that I'm going to show you is sort of rooted in culture, and some is just purchased from a store there, so maybe not, and some is actually made by just New Mexican people, people who live there. So my first stop, ooh, I need to Google this because I can't remember it. So the first place that I went was in Taos. No, I'm sorry, that's not the first place. So we stopped, I think it was in Chimayo. And so weaving, I've done several Ask Me Mondays that have had, or at least a couple that have had just flat loom woven pieces. These are not flat loom, but you can really see how much time these pieces took. And if you're following me on Instagram, I also posted a picture of the most gorgeous, huge loom where they were using chunky yarn for magnets. Every year it's a tradition of my family that we do tamales on Christmas Eve. And I wanted to have little placemats because we have a lot of people at the table that really felt of the tradition. So I picked up, I think, 10 or so in all different colorways. And I just love them. There's something, even though it's traditional and you feel really sort of spiritually connected to some of these pieces because of the craftsmanship, it also feels really modern. I mean, this colorway right here and the geometric shapes of that, sort of Aztec design, accompanied with just like that black and white, just feels really now and cool. Hey, Jennifer, good to see you. Hi, Tisa, too. Hi, Susan. So my Christmas Eve table just got a whole lot more festive, and I'm pretty excited about it. So that was one stop. I want to say that was in Chimayo. It was just a teeny tiny town, which was really cool. We went up to a yarn store. So there used to be a bunch of yarn stores in Taos, and I could really only find one. And I think it was called, this is something I should have researched first. I think it's called Moonchild. It used to be called the Yarn Store. I will post what it is later in the comment section. But what I got from there, I also posted a picture on Instagram, so this won't be a surprise to some of you. I bought the most beautiful yarn that was locally dyed. And this speckle that you see right now, the speckle yarn is really, really on trend right now. I think that Andrea Mowry from Drea Renee Knits probably has single-handedly boosted the speckle yarn industry with her Find Your Fade shawl and sweater. Oh, my husband said it was called Mooncat or something like that. Does that sound familiar? It's a wee store with a bunch of sort of touristy stores around it. Anyways, so beautiful. And I love it. And I actually got to work with some of it on the way home, and you can see how it knits up. I think this would be so sweet as either socks or even a little tank top for my daughter. What I love about speckled yarn is that when it's worked up, it almost looks like a painterly tweed. Tweed, if you're making tweed yarn, they kind of shake these little fiber bits over the weaving process. Well, here it's done with dye, right? So it's flecked, but it gives you kind of that same feel. It's super gorgeous. Then we came back and we went to every Tuesday and Saturday in Santa Fe at the railway. There's a farmer's market, and there's also an artist market. Mooncat Fiber. Thank you, Karen. Mooncat. Yay, Mooncat. I hate when I can't give people credit because I did not prepare. We went to the artist market, and I bought the biggest loop-de-loop of wool. And this is, this is pretty raw wool. So there was a gentleman there. His name is Frank Osborne. And he was spinning when we got there, but he did not spin this yarn. He said that he bought this wool, but then he hand dyes it with organic properties. And so what I liked about it is this is called marled yarn, which means it's two colors, like contrast, two separate strands that have been worked together. And I just thought it was really fun. And because it's a little chunkier and a little denser, I was thinking it'd be a great crochet bag. And he actually had a bunch of crochet bags there, so I could see what it looks like. But fun fact, he said that if you add a little of hair conditioner to the project after you work it up, then it softens it a little bit, which I thought was great. So I'll probably make, I designed a simple crochet market tote for the Clover blog a few months back. It might have been last summer. And I think it would work perfectly with this. So, and it was great. This is 18 ounces, which is a lot of yarn, and it was only $27. That is amazing and so cool. But just a little shout out to Oasis Fiber. It says it's oasisfiber.com, and it's this like lovely gentleman that weaves and dyes his own yarns and crochets. Okay, so the other thing that we stopped by in Santa Fe was, you know, some of the touristy markets. But the reason I wanted to show you this is these earrings. Can you see them? Oh my gosh, I just tapped on my own earring to try and focus it like it was a screen. Oh, these earrings, if you can tell, let me see if it'll focus a little. They're little tiny pieces of weaving. That's not going to work either. It's better if I'm farther away. So I don't know if you can tell, but it's like a wee little blanket, but it's really thin. I think it's done with maybe embroidery floss. And so what I think is cool, like this is actually done with metal work as well, but I thought it would be really fun, you know, if you're not a metal worker, as I am not really, I'm not, it would be really fun though to work on these small woven pieces, and you could either do it on a loom or you could even just, you know, make your own with sort of like T-pins and, you know, some board. And you could make a little piece, and then you could go over to the to the scrapbook section. I don't know if any of you spend time in the scrapping section when you're at the craft store, but they usually have these little pendants, and they're either circle or square, and they're like wee frames. You could totally add a earring hanger to those and make your own earrings like this, or make just little mini framed pieces. So anyways, I thought they were beautiful. This is not Yarn Craft, but I also bought some beaded ones, which I love. And I looked for a class to make your own while I was there, but I couldn't find one. So super fun. Okay, and then the last stop that we made was at the recommendation of Mary Heather from Ravelry, who also lives in New Mexico, and I did not know that until I was out there. We went to, in Santa Fe, there's a place called Yarn and Coffee. And I met with a woman, the owner there, whose name is Deborah, and I just chatted with her for a bit, and I just bought a couple things. I really liked this yarn gauge. And then I bought, I don't know if you've noticed, but the crewel tapestry like embroidery is coming in. I think it's called Bargello. And I just wanted to get a bunch of different yarns to maybe make a piece out of that. So I just picked up a bunch of that stuff. And also a set of Knitter's Pride needles, because I had only brought huge hooks for the pieces that I was working on. And that's really it. I mean, we did it up. So I was just in love with really with everything in New Mexico, but I was so impressed with all of the fiber work. We went to the Taos Pueblos and saw some amazing, it was more like jewelry and pottery that was great. And then we stopped at least 2 weaving studios where they had the huge looms in progress. So if you're interested, like I said before, check out my Instagram feed, and that's just at Vicki Howell, and you can see some pictures from that. So that's really all I've got today. Heads up, next week there will not be an Ask Me Monday. We're actually headed out to TNNA, which is the National Needle Arts Association convention. It's the market where all stores or where yarn shops go to find out what yarns they're going to buy for fall, and there's a lot of events. So the Knit Show is actually going to shoot a field piece segment that will go within our trends episode. So I'll be on a plane on Monday, so we're missing that, but we will be back the next week, which I believe is the 19th, and that'll be brought to you by Clover. And I believe if they make it here in time, we're going to talk Tunisian crochet, which we've touched on before when Marcy Smith from Interweave was here about, oh my goodness, it's been about a year and a half ago. So we're going to loop on back. I think they have a brand new set that I'm going to be showing you. And so that should be fun. So again, check out theknitshow.com and maybe get yourself an enamel pin. But also, if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, then you will get all of the updates. I'm going to start releasing some little video updates and that kind of thing as well. And everybody's asking me about the New Mexico bag behind me. This is just a huge, I don't know if you can see, it's big. It's like 24 inches wide, and it has the, I could probably pull it down, but this is when all the yarn is going to avalanche on me. It's totally just a touristy thing, but I liked it because I'm trying to trace back my family history, and so I like seeing like all the places that I read on the ancestries about where they are, and that is going to be our next trip. We're going to go down to Socorro, to Socorro, and kind of trace back some of my roots as well. So that was this bag. It actually was the perfect size to carry the copious amounts of fiber that we bought. And big props to my husband, who was totally coolio with checking out all these crafts. We did go to quite a few breweries to balance that out. So partnership, yay. And that's really it. So thank you for this weird little hangout without tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great and creative week. Make sure to check back in 2 weeks where we'll be back. And please post where you're watching from, what you're making. Oh, and one last thing. I will be back live this Friday for a Makers with Vicki. That's our once a month thing that I do with Makers Mercantile. We usually work with mixed fiber media. And this week I'll be showing you how to make really beautiful ribbon backed button bands. So if you're working with knitting or crochet button bands or any projects with them, you can back them with ribbon to stabilize them and also give them a pop of color. So I'll have a bunch of scoop on that, and also a crocheted pillow pattern just for you that I believe will be on their blog. So that is that. I will see you on Friday at 12:30 Central right back here. And I will see you back in 2 weeks on Ask Me Monday. Thank you.